All right, let's get it. The Oregon Ducks. I'm gonna have a moment of honesty here. I didn't believe in y'all at all last year. I didn't believe in Bo Nix. I watched him a lot at Auburn. I said this guy's trash. He only here because his daddy. I don't understand how this guy had a 5-star rating. And when they got blew out by Georgia, I was like, "Yep, that's what I expect." But hey, they turned it around and they had a chance to make it to the college football playoffs. If that loss to Washington at the end of the season doesn't happen, who knows? They might have snuck in. So let's go ahead and get into reasons for optimism. Obviously, Bo Nix is a reason for optimism. Almost 30 passing touchdowns last year, 14 rushing. He's a guy that, again, showed his 5-star recruit capabilities last year. He comes back. They have a sneaky elite wide receiving core led by Franklin. They got a big guy in the transfer portal, in my personal opinion, and Gary Biden Jr., a guy that I liked at USC. So that's interesting. They bring back the running back core. They have a great set of pass rushers. There's a lot to like. Reasons for caution would be their secondary. Obviously, they lost Christian Gonzalez to the draft. The secondary is going to be manned by a lot of transfers in a division where you have to deal with Caleb Williams, where you have to deal with Michael Penix Jr., when you have to deal with Jalen Rashada, who went to Arizona State as a 5-star prospect, who have DJ Uiagalelei that went to Oregon State, who's looking to revive his career in similar ways that Bo Nix did. A secondary that's in flux is not a good thing. So that's a cause for concern. And also their interior offensive line wasn't the greatest. Hopefully that improves as well. So when we look at their schedule is soft to start off with, and then they play Washington. That's going to be a big game on the road, a Washington team who I mentioned earlier, a game that I thought they had in the bag at home, and they gave up the ghost at the end. This game's going to mean a lot to Washington. It's going to be hard to see two teams out of the Pac-12 coming in to the playoffs. It's unfortunate that the Pac-12 is so dominant this year when expansion of the playoffs is next year, because you could have easily see USC, Washington, and Oregon all get in that type of format. But in this one, I can only see probably one, maybe you can squint your eyes to two. So this is going to be a big game. They're going to have to at least win this game or the USC game that's at the end of the schedule. But then they have Utah on the road. Utah still has Cam Rising, quarterback straight out of the 1980s. They do not have Dalton Kincaid anymore, Travis Kelce type clone in college football. It seemed like he threw the ball to him every time, and people still couldn't stop it. But that's a tough road game. They still have a formidable D, and then they play USC. Again, a great matchup, game of the year potential. You have the best player in college football, in my personal opinion, in Caleb Williams. This is going to be a high-scoring affair. Does the secondary hold up in this game? So they have a pretty tough schedule, and then they ended out in Oregon State with in Civil War with DJ Uiagalelei. Like I said, he's trying to revitalize his career like Bo Nix did. He complained about the play calling at Clemson and attributed a lot of his struggles to that. And I think Clemson might agree. They fired their offensive coordinator and got a new guy in there. So he might be a guy that has a back season just like Bo Nix did. And this is a way bigger game than people are expecting. So prediction time, when you look at the schedule, when you look at the roster, I think that they have the goods to get to the college football playoffs. It's just that this division is probably the best and I've seen it in the last 10 years. And I just don't believe in the secondary holding up against high-flying teams like Washington, against USC. So I'm going to say they missed the college football playoffs. I'm talking out of both sides of my mouth because I think they could also get in and win the damn thing if, the schedule breaks for them right. But if I had to make a prediction, which I am, because that's what we're trying to do here, I'm going to say that they don't make it this year, that they lose both games. They lose to Washington and they lose to USC. All right, let me know what you think. Leave me a comment, subscribe, and as always, the game is a game.